if you want a back end or you want to be a front end developer, these are the things that you need to learn.
Welcome to the Creative and Code podcast.
Welcome to the internet, my friend.
Brought to you by ID Digital Agency.
Kind of a big deal.
Dive into the dynamic world of digital marketing, creative design, and coding with top experts, latest trends, and actionable insights. Let's get inspired and innovate together.
It's showtime.
Welcome to another Creative and Code. My name is Jay and this is
Emily.
And this is all about creative and code. Funnily enough, with a podcast name like that.
Who knew?
Yeah. So if you are a creative or you do code, this is the podcast for you. So let's talk about what's happened in the last week or so since we did the last podcast. And sorry about the last podcast. We had some audio issues. It was basically the audio. It wasn't an audio issue. It was
a Jay issue.
Yeah, it was a me issue. I forgot to turn on my microphone, so this one should be crystal clear now.
Hopefully.
Podcast problems. I'm sure all podcast people. Yeah. So it's mics. It's the receiver. It's connected to the phone. The phone's on silent. It's connected to a MacBook. The MacBook we can see if it's recording or not. It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
Sorry, I don't know why
I wonder if we heard that gulp. I'll try and insinuate it.
Terrible. Yeah, there is a lot going on in here. There's a lot of cables. If you could just see outside of the camera range, it's like cable central.
It looks pretty clean.
Yeah, it's
there,
not.
But yeah.
It's hiding our sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, what has been going on in the last week?
We've been working on some pretty interesting campaigns this week.
We have. There's been some things.
So people are really noisy around here, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the floor.
It's
so if you hear
Wednesday.
that's basically people's high heels or feet as they walk around.
They'd be walking.
There's another one. Yeah, annoying. But anyway, what were we talking about?
Oh
yeah, campaigns. Sneeze it up, Emily.
No,
do it.
You just cut this bit out. You can't have me sneezing on the internet.
It's going to be on if you do it.
All right, I'm going to force myself not to sneeze then.
Anyway, so yeah, some interesting campaigns. We can't give away too much, but there's some really cool Aussie talent that we'll be working with. And we had the presentation to the client today. Clients are interesting, aren't they? They'll either give you lots of emotion or no emotion.
Yeah, I think it really depends on the client. Like, not even so much on the brand, it's just the kind of people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I have certain clients very, open and just, willing to discuss and add things as you go along, and others just, stone-faced, and then afterwards they're like, thank you.
I totally understand, though. If you're in sales or marketing and you've got 10 of these meetings every day, it's hard to remain upbeat, isn't it? It's hard
makes sense. And a lot of them work with multiple agencies as well, so it can be, I guess, for them, you're seeing lots of different faces all the time, and it's a lot. But,
and when you're working with a Bunnings brand, which we're working with now, which is great, a previous brand that we've worked with in the past have come back, which is nice. You want to have those experiences and get revived, and you've got all these great ideas. Can't wait for one of those ideas. I'll do the stretching, if you know what I mean. You podcast people won't know what we mean, but coming out soon. It's going to be awesome if we pull this off. It'll be great. But no, you've been working through some modular home company stuff.
Yeah, there's all sorts of things going on at all times.
One of our banking clients, 60 years celebration. We're doing a competition platform for them. We've got one of our big petroleum companies. We're rolling out a huge app platform that we've built, and that has to go out to just under 1 million people.
That's a lot of people.
Emails, comms, SMSs, different permutations and variables are at play. It's huge.
Lots of things happening concurrently.
Yeah. And then, we think that particular project's done, and then they're like, oh, we need to change it from this particular value to this particular value.
Of course.
And that means that we can't change this and we have to change this. And so,
that's always the way. Last minute changes.
Yeah, it's agency life, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think you just got to accept that you need to be ready for rapid change. Yeah. Especially in life these days. Things just, I sound like I'm from...
You do. Life is changing so fast.
Yeah, what is that movie?
I have no idea.
I almost had it too.
It's like
an oldie one.
Gump. Does he say something like that?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Got it.
Life's
going pretty fast.
Make sure you... What is it?
I can't remember.
We're
going to get ridiculed.
You're going to catch it.
Yeah, exactly. What's in the news?
Good news, everyone.
Uh-oh, I don't like the sound of that. This is the way.
All right, so what's in the news, Emily?
I see that Mark Zuckerberg, I said his name wrong, Mark Zuckerberg, he said something about how the next revolution in tech is going to be more you know, not really the implant thing that kind of Elon Musk is doing, but more of like the glasses thing that they kind of tried to launch a long time ago and it kind of flopped. Apparently he's kind of gone back to that. That's now the next thing.
But it's the kind of Ray-Bans that he's looking at, isn't it? It's the ones that don't kind of look like there's technology involved in the
Yeah,
glasses.
that's it. I think it's less about kind of having glasses on. I think that's kind of the issue they've had in the past, is they look really dorky. I think these are trying to like be a bit more subtle. But I'm just...
Because the Apple ones didn't take off the way I think that they thought they would, being a
Vision
new
Pro,
device.
It's just so like ugly.
And it's heavy, and you need a battery pack, and it'll last like an hour and a half or something.
If it becomes more accessible for the public, that's fine. Like it'll start to come in. But when you've got like these ridiculous high level products that are like $5,000, and they're, you know, who's buying them apart from tech reviewers?
Yeah. I haven't actually seen any anywhere.
No,
like
exactly.
in person. I've been to the Apple store and they've got them set up so you can try them and you look around for a bit. And
I think the problem is that because they already came out in the States prior to here, like a long time prior, all the reviews had already come in. Everyone knew the issues with it, and then by the time they'd launched here, like no one cared. Yeah. Anyway, I'm curious. Mark Zuckerberg, you know, he's not historically ahead of the correct tech, I would say, probably since he started Facebook. Just in terms of like, you know, the metaverse, he certainly put all of his eggs in one basket.
when you think about it, though, Facebook kind of
Incorrectly.
set social media on fire. Like it just went
That's
rampant
it,
on
yeah.
Facebook. Then they bought Instagram. They bought WhatsApp. I think he's doing the right moves, but now
There's been a lot of good changes. I think he's just trying to innovate in areas that
and monetize
just
and
aren't it. So I'm curious to see how much of the kind of glasses prediction is actually true and how much of that is just Mark Zuckerberg being interesting. Mind you, he's also like rebranded personally. Like he's no longer geeky. He like wears a chain and he like
He's got
has
his
like
curls.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to be a bit of like a cool tech guy now, which, you know, the ironic thing is compared to the rest of like the owners of social platforms, he's actually kind of the coolest, which is a huge bummer. But anyway, that's besides the point.
in your opinion, yeah. Like I don't mind the Uber guy. There was a big TV show that came out on Stan about how Uber was formed and how like it was pretty ruthless. If anyone's
Interesting.
wanting to watch that, go check it out. I think it was Stan that it was on. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Speaking of movies, Joker 2. Are you going to go see it or have you?
I mean, have you seen the reviews?
That's what I'm saying. Creatively, I think it was, from what I'm hearing, artists and creatives and things are embracing that no one kind of knew up front that it's a musical. 90% of it's a
Wow,
musical.
yeah.
Obviously, like Lady Gaga being in it, you're going to know that there's going to be some songs and stuff.
But apparently they completely underutilized it. Like she sings bad in the movie, like on
really?
purpose. And then she's released like a companion album, which is kind of like almost proving like I can actually sing these songs properly. But just like in the movie, they made me bad. Like the whole thing is a mess.
So
it's made
apparently,
less money than Morbius. Just for
it's
everyone's reference.
stupid ratings and things as well. Like people walking out of the cinemas halfway through and so they're it's been a bit of a downfall.
You know what's interesting is this is DC. I think it's something like their 10th flop in a row. Like, what the hell are they
Marvel
doing
just
wrong?
be like,
Well, that's the thing. Marvel's not doing great either. Like, because we just had that kind of oversaturation of superheroes and things.
Deadpool did so well.
I mean,
but I know the other ones
Did
like
it though? What was the take?
smashed
of
it. It was the highest grossing ever R-rated movie in history.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of like a low bar. Like, we're talking Marvel. Like, they're like minimum is like $1 billion, and all their movies cost like way too much money to make.
Look it up. Let's find out.
Okay.
While we're doing that, let's talk about the iPhone. Is it 16 now? I'm pretty sure it's 16. That, again, people are not walking out of cinemas, but returning them within their 7 days.
1.33 billion.
There you go.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty
The
good.
second highest grossing film of 2024.
There you go. It's not doing too bad.
It's not too bad,
But I know
feel
what
like,
you're saying. There are some other ones that haven't done so well. Like, I think Aquaman didn't do as great.
Like, you're looking at what the funny thing is, right? The top ranking films of this year so far: Inside Out 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, Despicable Me 4,
Kids.
June Part 2, Godzilla and Kong, Kung Fu Panda 4. So
there's not
they're
any
all
really
sequels.
big ones there. Yeah.
There's not a single original movie up
Yeah, creatively,
That is crazy.
they're just reharnessing and
it's incredibly
refreshing.
depressing, I will say.
And again, refreshing iPhone 16, which we're just jumping on to.
Yeah.
Everyone's taking their iPhone 16s back. Even I
they?
saw one yesterday, an iPhone 13 user on TikTok or Instagram was just like, there's nothing different.
Well, of
like
course there's
visually.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, and the cameras are pretty, like, yes, they have improved, but the output, what you get on the phone or what you use it for is no different. So, yeah, I think they've got a problem.
I think, yeah, they just need to not release a phone every year because it becomes a joke. Say if they just put in the last few years of updates into one update, it would have been decent.
And if they had launched Apple Intelligence when the phone launched, people might have
That would've
embraced
been
that and
fine.
gone, this is an amazing
Exactly. I think the
thing, but it's
problem is
software.
they're still like in the mindset of like, we need to innovate every single year because back 10 years ago, there was innovations every single year. Now, no. So like, unless there's something big that comes out, what's the point? And also most of the updates now are software updates that everyone just gets anyway.
All I'm looking
So-
forward to, and I don't know if it's on the cards, but like a, what would you call it? You can beam your stuff, whatever's on your phone, to be like a is it hieroglyphics? Not hieroglyphics. What am I talking? Do you know, like you can beam it and it will create it, not even on a glass wall or whatever. It's just there.
Like a hologram.
So yeah, like that's it. A hologram. And you can just say, hey, check this out. And you can have your own
I feel
screen
like
where
this
you
is
can watch
giving
something.
like 2004 sci-fi movie, like, oh yeah, I'm just
But going
tapping
back
in
to
the air.
those goggles we were talking about.
Well, that's I think
Zuckerberg's.
the kind of is the thing.
Back to the Future predicted in 2015 that they would be a thing, that people would be wearing those
I
goggles around.
mean, yeah, they were
We
kinda
almost
close.
got there.
Yeah,
But I think, this thing, that's what I'd love. The cameras, stuff the 4 cameras on the back, make one of them a projector of some sort. And so you can share easily. You don't have to all camp around and look at a little device, and that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, I guess so. I feel
Yeah.
like, I don't know how that would work. I feel like they're just trying to like, everyone just wear the glasses in the room and then you can do it. Like, that's what they want. But I don't know. I think they just need to implement it in a way that's less cringy because
Yeah, to have just
know?
a new, a better camera in the same shell, basically, with a little camera flippy thing that everyone's apparently turning off because you can't, like all the cases, you can't access it.
Yeah.
And if you do accidentally swipe it, it activates things and zooms in if you don't want it to. So, yeah, I think...
Yeah, look, I have... Yeah, they're just... It's kind of like with the MacBooks. They put in the touch bar. They got rid of the kind of MagSafe charging.
Yeah, and the HDMI port they ripped out.
they got rid of all that stuff and then they had to put them back in.
Yeah,
I think
'cause
this
people
is
complain.
Similar stuff that's happening with the iPhone. Yeah,
It's probably one of those
It's the same.
cycles where
they're like,
oh, we haven't
they
been able to do
whatever.
anything.
Yeah, so it's fine. I mean, it is what it is.
It is.
Tech, am I right?
Let's meet our guest.
You have my curiosity. Now you have my attention.
We have our guest, Mr. Arnel.
Welcome, Arnel.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. It's been great to have you for how long now? Have you been working with us?
Started last day of April this year.
May,
have it
June,
down to
July,
the
August,
day.
September.
Yeah.
So 6 months.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's flown by.
Far out. Yeah, it's been a
It's
good
quite
6
fast.
months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So Arnel, just how about you introduce yourself to our podcast audience? Say who you are, what you do,
Yeah,
a little bit about you. Yeah.
I'm Arnel. As Jay mentioned earlier, I joined ID Digital for 6 months already. I'm a back-end developer. Most of the inner workings of a website goes through back-end developer. So that's my job, and that's it.
That's it.
That's what you do your entire life.
That's what I
story.
do.
6 months. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And what kind of projects have you been on, and what kind of projects do you like? And hopefully they are the same.
So far the projects that I'm assigned right now for the past 6 months has been like pretty interesting. It is way back when I was in the Philippines. I did a couple of years on I would say a separate type of projects. Now we are kind of like into a small medium level projects. It's a different discipline. It's a different approach, I would say. So now it's new, it's exciting, it's fresh. So loving it. Yep.
That's good.
definitely.
So you're more based on like one big project where you were previously, or lots of little ones, or what was it?
Mostly it's a big project where
Yep.
we start everything from scratch. So we talk to the client and then try to understand the vision that he has for the product or like the product that he wants to be made, and then we kind of like plot that out how he wants it, and then maybe come up with certain advice, certain approach that we found, since we are the kind of like quote unquote expert of the technology. So kind of like this is not a good idea, so do this instead, kind of like that. And then then after that we code it from scratch, everything based on the requirements, and then including the infrastructure, data management, security, and all that. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. Why is my phone messaging? I put it on in focus, or is that someone else?
It's not me.
I think it's coming through my computer.
It doesn't do not disturb carry from your phone
That's
to
what I
computer.
thought too. But anyway, sorry to disturb you, Arnel.
No worries.
But yeah, you've only been in Australia for, 8 months? 7 months? Something
Almost
like that?
I think 9 months.
9 months?
Yeah. We arrived here exactly February 13.
Feb 13?
Yeah.
Just before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Galentine's Day. Galentine's Day is
What's
February 13th.
Galentine's?
It's Valentine's via gals.
Oh, Galentine's.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, popularised by Parks and
So not
Recreation.
only do you get Valentine's
Shout
Day,
out.
but you get Galentine's Day as well.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah, with
enough.
your ladies.
Is this a new thing?
I mean, it was from a TV show, Parks and Rec.
okay.
Like probably 10 years ago. Yeah. But we never do Galentine's with my friends because it's my friend's birthday.
Maybe you should do Guy
Anyway.
Times. It's for the
Nobody
guys
wants
as well. Oh, yes, we do.
Anyway, so you've been in Australia 9 months.
Yeah.
What is your favourite thing, do you think?
About Australia?
Yes.
I would say in general it's how I found, in comparison to Philippines, how organized things are.
I like that.
Yeah, so like the transport system, where you buy those things, like talking about like groceries and all that. It's like in every suburb you can find one. Even how remote the suburb is. I mean, we've been to a couple of like remote places, say area in Phillip Island, but still you could still find like Woolies, Coles in there. But not in the Philippines because most of the like groceries, supermarkets, malls are in the city, but not in the provinces. Yeah.
You can normally find a supermarket within 20 minutes of anywhere.
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty
Anywhere,
much.
even regionally,
Yeah.
rurally, it's pretty bloody
There's always
close.
something, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, those little things we take for granted. But
Yeah.
they're
I remember when
strange.
we all went out. We went to the Moondog Brewery, Wild Wild West, and we're on. You did it as well, the
Yeah.
mechanical bull, and that was really good fun. But yeah, we drove you home. I think I did, or Soph did. I can't remember. Anyway,
did.
We drove you home,
Yeah.
and you were telling us about the road quality is like perfect over here.
Yeah.
There's lots of bumps and. Potholes and things over that way. So no, it's but sometimes it's good to have that. Like if you go back, you recognise that those are the things. What are the things that you kind of miss about the Philippines as well? Not the bad things, obviously, or the weird things. Obviously, family, but yeah. What are the things that you wish? If I could have that particular food, or
Right.
go to that particular place. What are those types of things?
I think two things. Well, in the Philippines, when you like say go to places, you always see people outside their houses. So it's kind of like a thing where like when it gets dark, people would stay outside.
All right.
It's a common like no matter how hard the day is, like any problem that you went through the day, we always find time to like go outside, talk to people,
Have fun.
have fun. Yeah, it's kind of like an everyday thing, and which kind of like the first thing that we noticed here, like the suburbs or the estates, kind of like they're kind of like a ghost town, sort of. I mean, in comparison to the Philippines, because we see people everywhere, and yeah, that's something that we missed really. In terms of food, we have this in our province, we have this thing we call the puso. So it's hanging rice. So we cook rice. We have this woven kind of like a container using coconut leaf, and then we put the rice in it, and then we cook it, and then kind of like mixed with all these flavors and all that. It's really good.
And you open up the leaf and
Yeah.
yeah. Are you
Lovely.
tasting that right now? You're
Yeah.
yeah. I love that. Just even going back when you're younger, I can remember a whole bunch of we used to have. I don't know if you remember, Emily, but we had cheese in these like waxy kind of, and you'd rip it over.
What, like Baby Bell?
Yeah, Baby Bell
Yeah.
cheese. It was so good. I don't know why I'm thinking about that. And then you had Whiz Fizzes.
Yeah.
That were really good. You have Whiz Fizz?
No.
No, it's like a sherbet. Like you rip open this packet, there's sherbet in a little mini plastic spoon, and you just be like, yeah, it was so good.
Weird. I don't think, are they even around anymore?
Snap and crackle bars. Yeah, Whiz Fizzes are still around.
Oh, really? Who's
Yeah.
eating Whiz Fizzes in the year 2024?
I don't know. But no, it was, yeah. And the old roast dinner at home and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think, going back to what you were saying about people being out, I think just in Melbourne's weather, it's super cold and it can get super hot to a point where our Melbourne wheel,
Yeah.
our Ferris wheel, about 10 years ago, cracked because it got so hot that the metal cracked, and yeah, they fixed it. Now it's abandoned. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of happens. What's it like to code over in the Philippines compared to here as well? Is it pretty similar? The ways agencies are set up, businesses are set up, and the hours of the day, is that all pretty similar?
It's well, it depends on the clients that you are working with, because I had experiences, and a lot of my friends also had worked with US clients. So we will, if that's the setup, we will work at night. So depends on what state or what time zone in the US. So kind of like we start working at 11 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah, one
work
of
through the night.
Yeah, one of the first work that I had. I think that's the second work that I had. We working with I think it's the mountain time zone. So we start at 11. Get out of the office like around 8
in the morning.
In the morning, yeah, and
that's
it's
crazy.
very very hard to sleep during the day.
Exactly. There's lots of noise going on. And
Yeah.
your wife probably wanted you to be around. And
Kids.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. So,
So how long did you do that for?
That particular work, I lasted there for like more than 2 years.
Wow.
Then there's a couple of like experiences where I work like part time or a side hustle sort of. So yeah, so
You've been
it's-
busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, we have to. There are like extra time. I mean, it's different in the Philippines because we kind of like have all these relatives and all that. So you could ask a lot of people like, can you do this while I do this extra work
helping
and all
each
that.
other out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a different setup.
And potentially as well, a lot of people that you knew were working those hours as well, the
Yeah.
other developers and designers and things. So
Yeah.
it was just a common thing that people
Yep.
did. Okay.
Yep.
And how do you feel now having you at nights and weekends back? It's
Well,
nice.
it's always good like to work at like 8 a.m. to like say around 6 p.m. So you can have like this pattern, this certain say
like consistent.
consistency and all that.
Yeah.
You can have like certain hobbies and all. So if schedule allows, you can go jogging in the morning or whatever, cook at night, those kind of stuff.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spend time with the little boy as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, that's the highlight of the day.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
I find too, my kids are now 8 and almost 6, and it's so good to be around them now.
Yeah.
The early years are a bit hard because you can't communicate with them very well, or they're just tired or whatever it is. But now they're up and they're asking really amazing questions, and So I think Sebastian, he's not speaking too much yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, just mumbles and all
Yeah,
that.
because he's so young. But I bet you're looking forward to that
Yep,
as well.
for sure.
Nice.
Emily, do you have anything you'd like to
I do
ask?
have a question.
Yeah.
How did you decide you wanted to be a developer?
That's a long story.
Well,
So
that's what the podcast is for.
yeah, so being in the IT industry was not like the first choice, if I'm not mistaken. If like around maybe second or third on my list when I or graduated in college. I mean in high school. So the first choice was to go like applied physics. But sadly the scholarship that I got did not allow me to pursue that. So after a couple of weeks of being frustrated and depressed, so kind of like I'm just gonna go to IT. So then it's all downhill from there.
Downhill or uphill.
It all got worse.
Yeah.
But now that you're, established and, you know your stuff very well, you're finding that you enjoy this developer role now and, things have worked out? Or would you still like to go back and have a look at the applied sciences and...
I'm enjoying everything related to coding. I'm enjoying it every day. To think about it, I could not imagine myself in a different job. Thinking if I could go back, maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah, like I've when I was little, I wanted to be a pilot, like an airplane pilot. That would have been so much fun.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is when back in the day when terrorists and things wasn't a thing, you could go and ask the stewardess or the flight attendant, whatever you want to call them, can I go up and speak to the captain? And they would let you.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So,
Oh my gosh.
my mum and I would go up and you'd knock on the door and the captain would open up, come inside, little man. And you'd go in and they're having scones and having tea and they're just sitting there, the plane's flying itself. And you're like, I could do this. This looks all right. Oh, my God. Yeah. So, I actually went and did a cadetship and I lasted a day. Because it was so, you had to make sure your shoes were polished and you were standing still for 15, 20 minutes. And it's not much, obviously, but I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And it stopped me in my tracks of becoming a pilot. So, yeah. How about you, Emily? What have you wanted to do in the past?
I think I wanted to be an artist. It was like my...
What kind of artist?
I don't know.
Painting?
I was a
Music?
child. Painting.
Oh, yeah.
Not a musical artist. Yeah, but then I realised that artists make no money. Obviously.
Yeah. The majority, I guess.
Yeah, and that's when I got into graphic design. And then I was like, wait a second. I have to design things for
Digital
other people.
design.
Whoa. Yeah, so then we ended up in marketing.
Do you do anything, like any hobbies and things, or both of you, I guess I should ask, based on those types of things that you wanted to do in the past? Like, are you doing any sciencey kind of things? I guess cooking, it's a science.
Kind of.
Yeah.
They say that baking is more of a science.
Yeah, it's the ingredients and formulas and whatever. Yeah.
To be more accurate and all that. But, no.
Nothing
What did you
chemically.
like about physics? Like, what do you even do in a career in physics? Is my question.
As far as I understood it way back then, you can do a lot of things. I know certain people, a close friend of mine who studied physics, who end up in the IT industry as well.
Okay.
Most of them
this
are...
is a roundabout way to get there.
Most of the other people that I know, they ended up teachers. Some of them worked with say semiconductor companies and all that. So it's a pretty wide range.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yep.
Plenty of stuff.
Do you think there's anything where physics or like your interest in science could intersect with coding now? Like, is there a dream project in there somewhere?
First thing that comes to mind is that the common denominator of physics, mathematics, and programming is the use of logic itself. So programming, you have this, if this is the situation, you do this and then this and this, and then with physics it's still logic and all that. So with mathematics, of course,
there's so much problem solving, I think, with both disciplines. And if you're working on something, especially some of the things that you've been working on lately, and they throw, with what clients' expectations are, they throw a lot of curveballs. You've got to kind of re-engineer the way something happens, and that's a little bit of physics in there too. Yeah, making things work.
Interesting.
Formulas, algorithms. I'm just checking out buzzwords.
I think there's more of physics application if you're doing animation and all that, because animating a ball,
and
motions and all that.
Well, might give you some projects like that if you're keen.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows?
Nice. Well, I just wanted to find out too, you're married, you've got a little kid, and you and your, two people, you flew over. What was it like trying to get into Australia? Was it a bit of a challenge? And what made you choose Australia initially?
Well, I think that the biggest factor is I have people I know way back in the Philippines that have also migrated here.
Yep.
And then the second thing is why not Canada? Why not USA and all that? But Australia is closer to the Philippines, and the weather is not that different.
Okay.
Although Melbourne is,
It can
but
get cold.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if I want or say emergencies or situation where I have to fly back to the Philippines, it's not that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, say 8
There's
hours,
flights
10 hours.
available pretty
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are like the major factors that made us decide to be here. While processing,
Did you find the visa process quite challenging? Because from what I've heard, it's months that you're waiting, or sometimes years.
I think it depends on the type of visa. We are here for a student visa as of now. So we started, I think, July last year, and then it was granted like around February.
Right, you came straight away.
Then we came straight away. Like,
Because it's your wife that's on the student visa, which
Yep.
means you can do a full-time...
yep.
Just
you
making sure
have-
that we're not saying anything that could compromise you on the podcast.
You have to have or at least the principal or the student should be on a master's degree.
Right,
At
okay.
least.
Yeah.
Because if it's lower than that, then you have to follow the 24-hour regulation.
Right, okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
Yep.
Wow, yeah, but it's great to have you here, and I've got to let everyone know too, your reference that you had, so the previous place that you worked, you gave us the reference, we contacted them, they sent through a video reference, which I've never had before, glowing about you, saying I wish he wasn't leaving the Philippines and wish he was part of our project still, and I'll still have to show you, I haven't shown you just yet,
Yeah.
it's somewhere in my emails, but I was just like, in the meeting, in the interview process, I was like, yeah, this guy, you know, sometimes you just got a vibe. You know, I had it with a whole bunch of people that are here. But yeah, you had that vibe, and then he was just the icing on the cake. I was like, yeah, let's get this Arnel fella in and see what he's made of, and it's been great. So
When you say video, I thought you meant like a video tribute, like it was like pictures of Arnel, like, like yeah.
no, he I think it was like a 2 or 3 minute video, and he just
Yeah.
Nice.
couldn't say anything bad. Yeah, it was like a Loom video or whatever it's called, and yeah,
Yeah.
Really good.
I think that was Eli.
yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that guy.
Oh, that's cute.
Shout out Eli.
Shout out Eli.
Competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just sent him a message a couple of days ago, like just
Can I have my job back? Nah.
just saying thank you for like those like little lessons and things that I've
Oh,
learned.
that's nice of you.
Yeah, and
Lovely.
it kind of like made things easier. I mean, it's very very hard to like pack up your things, move to a different country
Yeah.
with a wife and a kid, like a very little kid, like 1 year old. So with those mindset, those things that I've learned from him, from the company that I worked with, kind of like made us more say flexible and open to the challenges and all that. Kind of like make us see those challenges in a positive way. Yeah.
That's really nice, and I'm sure he appreciated it. Did you get back straight away? Like, no problem.
He sent like a voice recording.
Oh,
and all
that's
that.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so he likes his technology.
Yeah.
Doesn't just write it out.
Yep.
That's nice. If someone was to start out being a developer, all right, and because there's so many different disciplines now,
Yeah.
I'm finding it quite a struggle to hire people who are fresh out of uni, fresh out of TAFE. They don't have the skills most of the time. They've been taught based on a curriculum,
Yeah.
and sometimes that doesn't work really well. Or they've applied their own skills,
Yep.
and I find people that have developed their own skills and learned and self-taught them, that's a much better way into it. How do you think people should, what should people do to aspire to be a developer and to kind of get a foot in the door? Like, where do you think people should they be learning online, taking the interest? Should they be doing courses? What was your education like? Because I, to be honest, I don't think I even looked at your education. It was more your skills, experience, and how you presented yourself. Like, how do you find, like, if you were going to start again,
Yeah.
what would you do?
If I'm gonna start again, or I have this younger cousin who just like started college, and the advice or the very first advice I gave him is that don't wait for the school or the professor or anybody else to like give you something. There's a lot of like online tutorials and all that. So I have gave him this certain roadmap where there's like if you want a back end or you want to be a front end developer, these are the things that you need to learn. Learn this by yourself. Because learning by yourself, there's like certain discipline that you could like discipline values that you will get along the way, and that's very, very important in this industry.
I agree. I think anyone can read a textbook. Anyone can attend a course. But if you're not into it and you're not engaged, you're not going to get anything out of it. And what I found too, just applying yourself, do the long-term approach means that it's long-term memory, not short-term memory, and you kind of remember it a bit more.
Yeah.
I
I remember when I started, because I don't have a computer at home, and so we have a computer lab in the school. So and I have like around an hour of travel time. So I used to bring papers, and then I think of like certain programming problems or challenges, like say factorial of a number and all that, or find the numbers 1 to 100, print all of the even or prime and all that. So I write that in a paper.
You're writing the code on paper?
Yeah, on paper while I'm on jeepney, and then when I arrive at school or have the chance to grab a computer, so I type that out.
You can validate it.
Yeah, validate all that, and then what makes it like effective is that since I'm writing it, so it's kind of like ingrained to like memory and all that. So
it's a great way to do it. I mean, you're not then reliant on things like Copilot or AI recommendations and things. But do you find too, like, I think that's a great way to do it, is just write it down rather than just rely on a computer to do the work for you, because you're not really going to learn anything. But have you started to implement or use AI as part of your process, your workflow?
Yeah, 100%. So I have this, I used to have Copilot installed in my editor, and then I think that expired lately, so moved to, I think that's the AWS counterpart. So it's working great.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, let us know if you need Copilot back, if it was better.
What about where do you think that the industry will go? Like, what do you see from here in terms of development?
Your role, how will that evolve, do you think?
I think AI would open like opportunities for developers. I'm more on the optimistic side. I think the other boss, the one that you asked for referral as well, Gary, he mentioned that when ATM machines were introduced, the bank tellers were worried because they might be run out of job. But what happened is when the ATM was introduced, more banks were opened, lots of jobs, lots of bank tellers were needed. So taking a look at that pattern and like now with AI, hopefully it will be of the same case.
I think it's with any job too, they evolve, and you either just sit there and worry about it and complain, or like you did, you write it down on paper, and you learn something new, and you think about even the cash registers at the supermarkets that are all going tellerless. You can go in and scan your stuff and pay for it yourself now. Yeah, it's taken away those jobs from probably the younger demographic that would be the checkout people, but it's got all these high-end technical people that are looking after those things now. So I think, it'd be silly for us to stand still and just keep doing things the way we are.
100%.
True.
Yeah, and I've found even too, when I first started, I was just doing business development, and then I've moved into design, and now I'm doing more strategic stuff, and you just have to kind of pivot to what you want to do that works, and not just stay still, or else you're going to get yourself out of a job, basically.
So true.
Speed round?
Cool. Speed round. All right. This is it. Fast questions. Fast answers. Creative or code?
Code.
I guess that makes sense. Favorite design tool?
Or development
Or
tool?
development tool.
Visual Studio Code.
Visual Studio, nice.
Nice. Favorite website?
Favorite website. ChatGPT.
Good answer. How many hours per week do you work?
At least 40.
Nice. What's the first app you open every day?
Gmail.
I like that sensible answer.
Business.
Yeah,
It's all about
straight
the
on
business.
it. Yeah. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Well, and hot chocolate, which
Never hot. Yeah,
we've been
this
deprived
is a
of.
big issue. So where we work, Central House, has just changed was it 3 or 4 coffee machines
Yeah,
around the
3.
place,
Thank you.
which used to have hot chocolate. No more hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you annoyed?
Oh yeah, because there are days that I would love some chocolate. Like
Yeah.
times
to pick
where
it up in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Or you get to work and it's cold. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been robbed.
Yeah. We'll have to talk about that with the Central House people. I think. Yeah.
Put in a complaint.
Yeah. Third world problems. Yeah.
Dark mode or light mode?
Dark mode.
Mac or PC?
Mac.
Work from home or work from office?
It's kind of like a 50-50.
It's hybrid.
Yeah.
Cats
You get
or
to work
dogs?
from home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Every Thursday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Favorite font?
Roboto, I think.
Oh yeah.
That's
Nice.
a good
Google
one. I
font.
like it. Design or spec?
Specs.
What's your favorite snack while working? We know you're not a sweet tooth.
Yeah, because you had a Ferrero Rocher on your desk for what, 4
That
months?
was a Linton ball.
Yeah.
That was
Linton
on
ball?
there. No, yeah, probably 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
day it was given to Arnel. It just sat
It lasted there
And the
for-
crazy thing was, it was in eyeline every day.
I know.
Like,
We're all looking at it. We're just
Yeah.
like, what's going on?
I can't believe the self-control.
But if you were to have a snack, what would you have? You don't snack though, do you?
I don't. If I have to choose, it would be like savory.
Okay.
Yeah, but in terms of like, if I have to choose, I would say peanuts or
Peanuts,
cashew nuts.
yeah.
Nice. That's a very healthy answer.
Unless they're salted.
I mean, I guess. Pineapple on pizza?
No.
Damn
The
it.
first one, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Summer or winter?
Summer.
City or country?
City.
Nice. The final question. Would you rather time travel into the past or into the future?
I would say the past. Yeah.
Why's that?
I'm on the side. I'm really interested on like history, and I would love to jump back and then take a look at how they did things, learn from them. Yeah. So
And not
very
necessarily
noble
stay in the
answer.
past?
No.
You want to come back to the
no,
future?
I want to
Yeah.
come back in the present.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just learn from them. Like, I don't. I don't want to time travel and then like change things, but rather learn the things that they did, the mistakes that they've made,
Yeah.
then kind of like improve ourselves with that.
Wow. That's, I think, the most noble answer we've
Exactly.
had of all
Yeah.
time. That's
Hey.
incredible.
He's a good nugget, this one.
Yeah,
Good
clearly,
nugget.
considering my answer was go into the past to get the lottery numbers. We have different priorities, clearly.
Exactly. Well, thanks, Arnel, for being on the podcast.
Yeah,
Thank you so
Very
much.
interesting.
Yeah, it's great to have you as part of our team. If you're interested in working with Arnel, have a development project you'd like to do, then get in touch with us at ID.
Yep.
Happy days.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Arnel.
Thanks for tuning in to the Creative and Code podcast.
That's all, folks.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and found it as inspiring and entertaining as we did. Remember, there are plenty more episodes to explore, so make sure you keep listening for more creative insights and coding tips. A big shout out to our amazing sponsors and the team at ID Digital Agency for making this podcast possible. Got a story to share or want to be a guest on our show? We'd love to hear from you. Send us a 2-minute or less audio clip to creativeandcode@iddigital.com.au. Suggestions, ideas, or just want to say hi, we're all ears. Thanks again for listening. Until next time, stay creative and keep coding.